Hey guys, Shane here, Aus Flight Simmer. Welcome to another episode of Test Drive. Now, if you haven't seen one of these before, this is where we take a scenery, an aircraft, or utility in all different flight simulators, and I'll take it for a spin around the block and give you my first impressions and is it value for money. Now, in today's video, we are checking out Carenado's new release, which is the Diamond DA62 in prepared. The Diamond DA62 is manufactured by a company called Diamond Aircraft Industries, also known for making aircraft such as the DA52 as well. The first flight of the 62 was the 3rd of April 2012, and they are still in production to this day. You could pick one up for around about $1.3 million, I think, for a basic one, and going upwards. The aircraft only needs a crew of 1 and can carry up to 6 passengers, so it's really like a Cadillac in the skies. One big feature of this aircraft is the power plants, or the engines on there. So it's two All-Star AE330 diesel engines, so they are very soft in sound, and that's about 134 kilowatts or 180 horsepower each, and this aircraft is really efficient when it comes to using those engines. Carenado's version of the Diamond DA62 comes with a bunch of liveries, also including light ones if you want to get that extra performance from your machine. Really cool thing, it has flexing wing effects, which is cool because this aircraft has a very long wings. Has all the usual stuff such as material shines, volumetric side view props, and all that sort of stuff. I would say that the 3D modeling is exceptional as per normal when it comes to anything Carenado, but this being a aircraft that they've tried to reenact the colors and the paint jobs, the reflections of the aircraft I think is a little bit too much for me, and I'm not sure if that's because of the limits of P3D compared to what I've seen done in X-Plane 11. I would say that needs a bit of work, but I'm thinking it's probably more to do with P3D than Carenado's efforts here. Aircraft also comes with blade shines and window scratches. You have all the usual things such as chocks and a little trolley to pull your aircraft around too. The Diamond DA62 comes with all the same menus that you see with all the other Carenado aircraft for P3D, such as this one here, which is the panel state, so you can start your aircraft on cold and dark. Also, one of the other options it has, so it can actually let you know what type of menus come with the aircraft. You've also got the configuration part of the aircraft where you can actually close the doors, you can hide your co-pilot, close your passenger door. So we're going to close some doors here just to get the aircraft ready for takeoff, but you've got a lot of things animated in this aircraft, and also the FMC and Navcom, which come in version 1.1. so basically this section here is under where you pull up the armrest, so you can program the FMS right there. It also has a pop-up for the G1000, but I don't be using that in this flight. But we'll jump into the cockpit and we will do a quick startup, and then we'll get on our way and get the DA62 in the air. So you can see the FMS, this was included in version 1.1 with a bunch of other fixes and additions to the aircraft. So you can see that this aircraft is really built for efficiency. So we're just going to turn the fuel on and I'll lock it in. As you can see, that's my favorite sound when it comes to anything in Carenado, for any of the buttons it's used over and over. So this flight we're not going to really program the G1000, we're merely just going to use the autopilot for directions because we're going to do a VFR flight really. So I'm going to turn the fuel pumps on and we're going to start the first engine, but you can start this aircraft within minutes. So we'll start the right engine first, and I'll just let you listen to the sounds. As you can see, it's a diesel engine, but it sounds like a little 100 horsepower little mini car as start up, so it's a bit different. So we'll watch the left side engine as we hit the fuel pump and engine start. Both engines are ready to go, so we're going to warm them up. We're going to turn the alternators on, and I will get the DA62 ready for taxi, and we'll make our way out. So everything is ready to go. We're going to release the brakes and we're going to begin our journey. Bit of a track up to our takeoff runway, but I'll shorten it up in the video for you guys. I will say this, this video was a little bit longer in the making due to the first version of this aircraft came out, so version 1.00. I had a lot of problems with it regarding taxi, for one, felt so unrealistic, and also the flight mechanics. I haven't gone through the change log and see what they changed, but I know they've obviously added features and fixed some bugs, but I felt that this aircraft, this one that we're seeing the video today, the version 1.1, was a dramatic difference in between how the aircraft taxis, how the aircraft flies. One thing you must notice then is it will get away with you if you try to do sharp turns too much there. You can see it swing around. But this aircraft 1.1 version is a lot more able to fly, so I was pretty much ready to give up with 1.00, so I'm glad they patched it, and this is a lot more enjoyable. Taxiing aircraft is pretty easy. One thing you do need to remember, having such large wings for a GA aircraft, you need to watch, make sure you've got enough space. So it doesn't look like there is much traffic today, so we're not going to hold short. We're going to pull up and then just configure the aircraft just up here, and then we will be ready to roll out, and we'll take off, and we'll basically straight up and fly over the beach. So we are good to go. We're just going to put the transponder on, drop the flaps, put the taxi lights off, landing lights on and strobes on, and we are good to go. Also the pitot heat. So I've actually flown this aircraft quite a lot in simulators, but more in X-Plane 11, which is there is an awesome version with that. So it was really interesting to see who was going to make something for P3D and how would it compare with that. So we're pretty much all good to go, and we're going to roll out. One thing to notice on takeoff is this aircraft likes to stick to the ground a little bit, so you've got to pull back quite a fair back on the yoke to get the aircraft to move and lift off the ground. So you'll notice that as we're taking off. We're going to be quiet now, so please enjoy the sounds as we take off runway 20. There we go, so we'll just pop the gears up and then we'll pop the flaps up. I do enjoy the sounds of the flaps and also the gears going up and down for the DA62. We're going to make a right hand turn here. We're going to follow the beach up. We are in the UK today, so we just took off from Orbx's, I think it's EGKA scenery. So we're going to continue up the beach. And now I think it's some time to show some outside shots as we depart our airport. Welcome back to the cockpit. So we're cruising along at just above 3,000 feet. And we're going to take a bit of a look at the inside of the DA62. So as you can see with all Carenado aircraft, the detail is pretty good, and having the G1000s in this aircraft means it does have systems as well. So the G1000 can do STIDs, stars, and approaches, RNAVs, ILSs, and VORs, and etc. So it's very easy to program. The aircraft has a similar feel of the cockpit to such aircraft as they've done as the TBM and whatnot. But I think it's a pretty realistic recreation of the DA62. As we take a look at the back part of the DA62, it is a 6-seater, so you can fit the whole family in there, and you can also see the FMS little sort of shortcut panel that's on the armrest, which actually functions and works as the way that it should. And as I mentioned in all my Carenado videos, I would really love for them to work on their sounds for the clicks and the cranks of the different button presses. If they could improve that, that would make me a very, very happy man. It's time to switch the lights on. So I've got the panel lights on about 50%, so you can see how the aircraft looks when we're flying at dusk. We'll take a look at the outside as well. Welcome back to the cockpit. As you can see, we're making a left-hand turn and we're going to make our way back to the airport. As for how the aircraft flies, it flies like a nice, steady, stable Volvo car. You point the aircraft where it needs to go and it's nice and trimmed, it will stay there. And really cool thing is you can look out the window and the aircraft's not going to get carried away and go off track when you're not using the autopilot. So it's really stable and it's a lot of fun to fly as well. So we're going to head our way back to the airport. We'll come back to you as we are on approach and just about to put the wheels down. Should be an interesting landing as it's a short runway and we're going in there right on dusk. So we'll talk to you then. So gears are down and just putting the flaps down to our approach position. Apologies for the freeze there. P3D needed to think what it was doing for a little bit, but we're on approach now. One thing I have noticed with this aircraft, you need to keep the speed up on approach. If you want to do anything below 80, she will sink pretty quickly. But I do love the sounds of the gears and the flaps of this aircraft. They're really, they've done a good job with that one, Carenado. Just please fix the sounds of your switches within the cockpit, and like I said, I'll be a happy flight sim. So I'm going to leave you there. I'll come back to you just after the wheels have landed. We'll take a quick look at the replay, and then I'll give you my final thoughts of the DA62 from Carenado for Prepared, and is it value for money? Bit of a floater in the end, but we got there. So we're going to keep going here. We'll whack on the brakes towards the end of the runway, considering that's where we need to taxi off. But we'll take a quick look at the replay and see how she looked on the exterior under with the gears down and the flaps down. all in all, that was a very enjoyable flight in the DA62. So my final thoughts on the DA62 from Carenado for prepared. Is it value for money? So normally I would go the exterior is absolutely awesome when it comes to Carenado bikes, but I'm not going to say that in this case. I do enjoy the high quality of the 3D modeling. It's just the textures. I believe with the reflection of this aircraft, it just doesn't really suit the sim in prepared at this stage. I have seen better looking exteriors when it comes to aircraft, or this same aircraft in X-Plane. How the aircraft flies, it is fun to fly and very enjoyable. So if you want a casual cruise, or you want something that you're able to simulate your SIDS and stars, this is a nice GA aircraft for you. It does take you places. It can fly quite high and it can go quite a long distance with a decent speed, so it is a lot of fun to fly. As for the interior of the aircraft, it looks great, and having the G1000s in there brings a lot of systems to the aircraft, so you can do all your different types of landings such as ILS, VORs, and RNAV, so it's pretty fun. So all in all, for about $34.95 US, and I think it worked out to be $52 or so Australian, it's pretty good. I would say that's value for money. My first initial thoughts of the aircraft in version 1 was terrible, but with the update to version 1.1, I'm enjoying flying the DA62 in prepared. So if you found that this video helped you out, please give it a thumbs up. It's really appreciated. It really helps the videos along. If you're new to the Aus Flight Simmer channel, please hit that subscribe button for our weekly content. We usually do a stream during the midweek, so you can come and say hello, and also these test drive videos or different types of videos out on the weekend, so weekly content. And if you want to stay up to what we're doing during the week, go and hit the link below, and you can chat to us in our Discord channel and stay up to date. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Aus Flight Simmer. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, have an awesome day.